Hello, everyone, and welcome to Computer Science and Statistics, the University of Rhode Island. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about an introduction to Microsoft Windows updates. All right. So let's take some time to think about Windows updates because many of us are familiar with updates, and more often than not, we tend to try to avoid updates at times. However, it's usually really not a good idea sometimes to avoid the updates that Microsoft has to offer when they release them. Microsoft releases most patches on Patch Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month. All right. So whenever you need to do updates, just know that Microsoft releases most patches on Patch Tuesday, the second Tuesday of the month. Microsoft makes essentially the following distinctions between different types of software updates. Updates are widely released fixes for what is known as bugs or errors that may exist in the system that they really weren't aware of that didn't come up during testing purposes. So critical updates essentially address performance problems, while security updates address vulnerabilities and can be rated based on their level of severity. Is it a low severity? Is it a moderate issue? Is it an important issue, or is it critical? We also have various definitions for updates, such as malware scanners and junk mail filters and driver updates for hardware devices. Remember, when you use the operating system, there's many vendors that exist that connect to your operating system. And most of their tools or pieces of hardware that they utilize need drivers in order to connect to your system. Okay. So let's talk about the different types of updates that exist, and then we're going to take a look at how we can do an update in our system. You have hot fixes, which are essentially patches supplied in response to specific customer troubleshooting requests. So usually, customers have issues that might not have come up. So Microsoft will sometimes release hot fixes, and usually perform testing, and with additional testing, later developed once they ensure that these are common issues that customers are experiencing, they will make these hot fixes available to the public. So those are known as public release updates. Okay. Then you have feature packs. They add new functionality to the software. So these feature packs can include something that a tool can't do, an enhancement to a tool, or an update to one of the tools. Then you have service packs and update rollups. These are essentially a form or a collection of updates and hotfixes that can be applied in one package. I'm sorry. So patches, driver updates, and service packs for Windows and other Microsoft software can be installed using the Windows Update client. Okay, so let's take a look at how we can do that. Here I am in my Microsoft window, and what we're going to do is we're essentially going to type in Windows Update. All right. And we can go to the Windows Update settings. So this client can be configured to obtain and install updates automatically. So here I am in my update client. Okay. The settings used for the automatic updates are often configured in our group policy. All right. But right now, we're not going to use the server to do it yet. We're just going to take a look at how we can perform this. So currently, this Windows machine is on a server, and here is where my Windows updates are. I can go and just really click on View Install Update to take a look at all of the updates that have been installed. And if I don't want them, I can actually uninstall any updates that have been installed on my machine. Right? If I go back, I can go to Advanced Options. So these advanced options essentially allows to give me updates for Microsoft products give me updates for other Microsoft products when they're update. I can enable this policy to automatically download even over meter data connection. So I can basically specify how I want my updates to appear. Okay. So then I can go to, let me actually not go there this quick. Let me just go back. Okay. I can change the active hours for an update, right? So I can specify what the start time for an update is and what the end time for an update is. I can even, let's see here, check storage. So I can see how much storage I have that's available because remember, updates do take up a lot of the storage that you have available to your system. All right. If I go back home, I can go to update and security. I can even see what's new. So launch this app. So I can specify when I don't want to launch this app. I can even come in here and actually specify the date and time that I want updates to happen. So keep your device update and secure. I can click here to learn a little bit more about updates that are available with Microsoft as they happen. I can configure my updates. I can do a restart option and specify when I would like my machine to restart as I make once the updates have been applied and configured. So I can essentially go to my Windows Update to decide when I want the updates to happen and occur. Okay, so the updates button is really one of the most useful functionalities that exists in your Microsoft system, where it gives you a lot of functionality that you can really control and design for your updates, right? You can even specify if you don't want updates, when to stop them. So I can come here to advanced Windows update options. I can view update history. So if I go to advanced Windows options, I can do privacy settings. All right, let's go back actually. I can get, again, delivery optimization. So I can specify how I want the updates to be delivered in my machine. I can specify a day and a time when I want updates. Or if I really want to, I can actually just disable updates. But since this is on a server, I really don't have the option to do that because all of these sit in group policy. And if I like an update that I see, I can again just, view installed updates. I can click on it. I can uninstall updates if I don't like the updates when they were installed. I can turn features on or off. So I can actually come in here. Since I'm on the server again, I would have to put my administrative password. I can turn update features on or off to really prevent these updates from happening. And this is usually typically if you're using a local machine, how you would go about it. You would have a whole lot more options than I do here, given that I'm on the server. So let's take a look at, let me click on an update. Let me actually go to this uninstall updates and let's do turn features on and off. I'm going to log in as my administrator. And you will notice that here, I can actually come in and, well, let me see, Windows Update. Remote. So I can't do it here, again, because it sits on the server. So I could actually go to the server to decide where I want these update features to be on or off, right? So Windows, yes, I can't turn it off here. But this is essentially where you would go to decide what you want to do if you want to uninstall an update or make any type of changes to these updates as they occur, which is one of the many functionalities that you have. However, let's say I had a 6, 7, or 8 Windows machine that sat on a server, right? It would be very annoying to come in here and install the updates and really manage the updates, which is what we are actually going to learn how to do. Microsoft has a pretty neat service that's available in the server called a Windows Server Update Services that we are going to learn how to configure, because that is going to allow us to specify when updates happen to the machine and how they happen. But this is typically where you would go to actually manage and change and control updates for your machine. You can install updates, uninstall updates, roll updates back, etc. Thank you for watching.